eagle nest that's perched at the top of his head could get blown right off.
Yeah, it doesn't move.
I'd be up there with you guys.
It's invincible.
All right. Let me do a couple more questions and then we'll all do it. This one actually is to In Control. It's from F Bunny, and who knows what the F stands for.
Uncomfortable with answering this question. Let's move forward.
After watching the Evil Geniuses Masters Cup Series last night, where Merz went bio versus TT1, who didn't use High Templar, it seemed like that was the one thing missing from TT1's arsenal. However, my question is actually about the control of these Templar. What kind of tips can you give a Platinum player who wants to get better control and usage out of his High Templar? Are all the same types of ideas and practices valid for Ghosts and or Infestors as well? And a little bit of quick history before you take the question. Last night in this matchup, Merz was totally bio and a lot of medevacs, and TT1 actually chose to go mostly Archons. That led him into, of course, the control of these Templar, because obviously some players have great control, other players not so much, versus Terran as well. You've got to watch out for the Ghost. So what advice can you give to our Plat friend here, or anyone who wants to just control their Templar better?
Well, first and foremost, content-wise, I would recommend checking out and watching Mana games as much as you possibly can. He's doing really well in these recent European tournaments. He has phenomenal PvT, and what he likes to do a lot of the time, and I'm starting to emulate this in my play, obviously, because anytime someone's getting really successful, I want to copy that, is he's ditching Templar around the map. So you have like 3 or 4 with the army. These are your feedbacks and your storm if you can get them. But then you leave a good like 5 or 6 either at your base or even just at your kind of rally point, and just in back. And what they're doing is they're gathering mana, but they're also not getting EMP'd, right? So if your army's moving around doing kind of map control stuff and engaging and disengaging with the army, they're allowed to sit back, gather their mana, and then when the Terran pursues the Protoss army, or the Protoss can reinforce with these Templar, they're good to go with a storm and a feedback, or several feedbacks, or a couple storms, that kind of stuff. So I really like that. I think it's really cool, and it's certainly something that's given Terran players a big headache because they think they're safe, and then all of a sudden like 4 Templar come shifting in there, and they're like, no.
On the other hand, some Protoss, are reluctant because of how easy they can be sniped, how fragile they can be if you're not really keeping up on the controls. So I think more or less, is it just positioning, hotkeys, etc.? Anything you...
Well, hotkeys are important. A lot of players, like if you watch Minigun stream, he actually puts all his army on one hotkey, including the Templar, and then a few Crane Bros do this as well. And they'll tab to him. I find that a little bit more